Alright, now it's quite some time back since I talked for the last time about the supercharger of mine. But I think you guys probably already have seen and heard and know that I got supercharger issues. At least not minor issues. So there are some pros, but there are also some cons on the supercharger of mine. So I'm gonna tell you from the beginning on what happened until today. Now, of course, I have a Chevrolet Matisse 3-cylinder inline 3, only 0.8 liters, which is probably like 50 cubic inch, which is nothing. And it has a supercharger on it, which is Aisin AMR300. But we got some issues. Now I already have plenty of time in those issues, but anyways, in the very beginning of the when I got the supercharger, of course, I mean, since that supercharger doesn't officially belong on the Chevrolet Matisse, I have to build, of course, things to make that happen. Now, it took a lot of time to make it work, and to make the mounting brackets actually in good working order. But the thing is, the AMR300 has actually one bracket here, one bracket there, one bracket here, one bracket there. It has actually 4 pieces where it should be mounted. Now in the past, I mounted it only with 2 pieces with a big chunk of steel. Well, 3 pieces, big chunk of steel, so it will stay in place and not vibrating too much. Together with some, some bolts and some crown nuts, so it won't vibrate anymore. And also I connected that on the on the exhaust manifold. So that's of course a big chunk of steel which will not be able to move. However, I think personally, because the pulley on my supercharger, I mean, it's not new, it was definitely not the newest one, but the problem is, though, it was not straight and it was not new. So there is coming a time that the pulley from the supercharger of mine was going to show some failures. And oh yeah, that day has come. Already plenty of time. Now, maybe I was not talking about it too much, but that's actually the reason, well, at least now it is the main reason why the supercharger is vibrating a lot. And of course we have to find a solution for that. So, as we speak, I always say, as we do. So, what I did then is I ordered a new supercharger pulley. In this case, the exactly same one. I use a 4PK belt from the crankshaft pulley, and also 4PK on the supercharger pulley. Now, of course, I have bought a new one, which will probably in maybe a few days, maybe a week, maybe a little bit more, will arrive here, and of course we have to build it in. Now, I mean, I also have in this case I also have some gasket materials, so I might also be able to make some gaskets on myself, so I can stop those leakies, so I can stop the leaks. Now, you guys hear already that I have several issues with the supercharger. Now, one of them is I only use 2 from the 4 holes, which cause vibration on at least low RPMs. On the higher RPMs it was getting a little bit more stable, and also it was even more vibrating when the engine is getting at least a little bit more hotter. I don't know why. But also my spark plugs aren't in the best shape anymore, so I know that I have to fix that anyway. But besides the 2 from the 4 holes, the V-belt of the 4PK belt, so the serpentine belt, was also another issue. I mean, it was not straight on it, and if it's not going to be straight on it, the pulley is going to be damaged, and that's happened. So let's give you guys just a little random thing so you guys can imagine why it was damaged. Now, let me say, yeah, if this is the surface of the pulley, yeah, well, better, let me take this here. If this is the flat surface of the pulley, yeah, and it goes around, I mean, the pulley is turning this way. Now, there was a very deep dent in here, which can cause vibration, because it can do this, and that's not good. So I have felt that. I took the pulley off, and indeed it was that. So I ordered a new one, I said, but that's causing one of the issues. Now also, I mean, the superchargers work just like turbos on oil. Now without oil, such high RPMs, they won't be happy. Yes, I mean, so the filling cap or the filling screw, now those threads are actually, well, I could say somehow eliminated. So, but luckily I have two kind of filling screws. One that has key 13 and another one that has what do you call it? I believe something like hex, I believe. So, but at least I have two filling screws. So when I want to fill back up some new oil, I have to use another filling hole instead of the key 13. So yeah. So that's actually the problems that I have currently. Oh yeah, also I don't have gaskets on them because I didn't get them with gaskets, most likely. So we have to make them. With this all being said, I mean, this is not the end of the world, okay? I mean, if I want, in the craziest case, if I really want to rebuild the supercharger, so I mean those gaskets, the pulley, everything actually, besides the rotors itself, it's not actually that expensive. It only cost me like $12, and maybe in hydraulic press to get those things out, make them new in again, and it will work as new again. Now the only thing that is a problem is the key 13. I mean, those threads, they are done. So I don't think I can make that one working again, but that's why I have a second filling cap. So with some negative news, of course, I have also some positive news. Now, as I already said, a new pulley is already on my way, which is the worst case scenario. I mean, I don't really bother on high RPMs if there is gonna be oil flowing out of the intake and the outlet port and intake port actually from the supercharger. So you have to see if here is a supercharger, you have here an inlet and here an outlet. So in the inlet goes the air in, which comes from outside the engine, most likely from the air itself, and the outlet, of course, which is going a hose on it, and then it goes to an intercooler, and from the other side, from the intercooler, it goes to the engine. Now, those have flanges, and they need gaskets, of course. Now, without gaskets, what do you get? Leakage. Just like a cylinder head from a car, if they don't have gaskets, you are gonna get leaks, and not just a little bit. You're gonna mix oil with coolant, and you get somehow vanilla ice. Now, that's not, of course, what you want, because that can damage your bearings and all that kind of stuff. It can damage a whole lot of things. So that's not what we want. But anyways, so those flanges, I said, I need some gaskets, so we have to create them anyway. Now, I have gasket material, luckily, not long ago bought, so I will be easy to make them. Second thing, of course, is that I got a pulley already coming on my way, and hopefully this one is in a good shape instead of a bad shape. And Moto Cheese, which is also on this YouTube channel, actually, not this YouTube channel, but as a YouTuber, sorry. He also has the same AMR300, but he has made something for it, not gaskets, but I believe he has used silicone gaskets or something, just fluid that makes a whole everything and staying in place. But yeah, I mean, I don't have silicone gaskets, so I have to buy them or make them. Once the supercharger pulley is on there, I am making my gaskets, and hopefully I can get those inlet and outlet ports closed, so there is also on high RPMs no more oil leaks. Now, trust me, my complete hood from the inside, so from the engine room, everything from the hood was completely covered in oil. So yeah, I mean, that's not, of course, a nice look, and also the oil has eaten up some white paint from my car. So yeah, that's not good. But that's why I have ordered some stuff and hopefully we can get rid of that problem. Now, besides all of this and all those fixes, yes guys, I know that I have been offline for a little time, and that has reasons. Now I'm not gonna tell that, I'm gonna tell that again once I'm able to drive the car again, which is currently impossible. Doesn't matter why exactly, that's what I said. I will tell that in another video, because that's not important. But I will still making videos. I mean, I'm not going away by any means. I'm keep going what I do, and that's tuning, performance, acceleration, top speed, you know, racing and all that. That's what I like, and that's what I'm doing. And whoever comes in my way, I drive them off the circuit. Easy as that. So don't worry that I leave or something because things are going worse. No, nothing to worry about. I keep going on. Another thing that I would like to tell you guys, I mean, besides all of this, you know, I mean, it sounds, of course, pretty negative, but it's not. I mean, there are also positive things, you know. I mean, also those things belong to tuning instead only of negative. Now, of course, I have already a pulley coming on my way, and it's just a basic pulley, just like your crankshaft pulley, just heavy metal and all that, you know, just those simple black pulleys. Now, what I want to tell you guys, I mean, I have, in a short period of time, I have found out that I can also get billet aluminum pulleys, which are lightweight. I mean, I can get those actually not for too expensive. I mean, yeah, of course they cost something, but hey, I mean, don't forget the machinery costs and the material that's going to be used into it. So yeah, I'm really thinking to buy a aluminium billet pulley. In this case, I'm not going to think on 4 pk, but I'm on 6 pk, because they advised me to pick 2 pks more to avoid slippery serpentine belts. So that's what I'm gonna do later on. If that project thing, what I have wrote it on the community channel, you guys can check that out. If that community thing is not going into the plan, I don't think it's going into the plan. But anyways, so the pulley I will order anyways. It's gonna be also oversized. Now, I mean, with my current ratio, so my supercharger pulley ratio, my crankshaft has 112 millimeters, and my supercharger drive pulley has exactly half of it. So that means 1:2 ratio, which means 6,000 RPMs on the engine means 12,000 RPMs on the pulley, drive supercharger pulley. Now, max RPMs in my case are 6,500. But here comes the thing. Now, probably, I think my supercharger pulley has something like 56 millimeters or something, but I'm going with 54. Doesn't sound like a big difference, but it is definitely a big difference. At least, my engine is, if it's gonna spin at 6,500 RPMs, I'm gonna increase with the pulley that I have in my mind. That's gonna be 54 millimeters. It's gonna raise up the RPMs probably like to 16,000, which is actually 2,000 above the well, what's in the data sheet of the supercharger Aisin AMR300. But as long as I don't hang there too much, I don't see any issues. And luckily, I mean, I don't drive 6,500 RPMs instantaneously. No way. I mean, I'm not driving a rally car or something, you know, where the RPMs are always at maximum, because then I would blow up the supercharger probably, because 2,000 RPMs are above the maximum. But I think it will be fine, as long as I don't drink. I have to be fair on that, because if I drink, then I am a little bit more energetic and a little bit more aggressive with my car, and yeah, then the RPM's gonna raise as well. Now, besides the pulley that I'm gonna order, I mean, we need some gaskets, so we are gonna make that as well. Maybe I will refresh the oil that's currently in the supercharger itself. Maybe I'm gonna fill it up a little bit, because I'm pretty sure oil has found its way out again. But I have plenty of that, so that's not an issue anyway, not even a little bit. I only have to put 100 milliliters in there, and also I have more than a half liter. So yeah, if it's closed, I mean, then it's a closed loop, and I will never lose oil. So that's not gonna be a big deal anymore. But anyways, the other very important part, which I did not talk about, is that I don't have an intercooler on the Chevrolet Métis. Now that's of course very important if we talk about cooling, density, and I mean, yeah, overall performance. I mean, running a supercharger without a intercooler, it's not the smartest option. Yes, it does run on max, so 13,000 RPMs on the supercharger, and yes, it runs fine, but I still see and I feel that whenever the exhaust manifold is getting hot, or the supercharger is getting hot, I also see reduced performance. I definitely feel it. When the engine is cold, I get the best performance. I definitely can feel it indeed. So we have to buy an intercooler, but we cannot just place an intercooler, we need also piping for that. So that's obviously gonna be settled down later on. Now, the only issue is, yes, I got a blow-off valve, which I definitely need if I exceed 10 or 11 psi. But the problem is piping. Now, I mean, yeah, piping is one thing, but the supercharger of the blow-off valve, what I have currently, has a max of 25 psi, and it doesn't have a minimum. So don't tell me what's the minimum setting. I don't have a clue. I might change that with the air compressor by closing up the holes and everything, setting it on its lowest volume, and make the gap closed up, and see with a boost gauge on what kind of PSI it's going to be released. So yeah, at what kind of PSI is that little piston on the valve from the blow-off valve going to be opened. So I think it's not going to open at 10 PSI, which is already on a very high side, because I do not want to exceed actually 6 or 7. Let's stand 10 PSI. But yeah, I mean, I think I already exceed the 10 PSI because I have changed the engine performance from 48 horsepower already to 64. Now, if you're asking Tuning Dutchy why 48 horsepower? Doesn't that 3-cylinder 0.8 liters engine have basically 52 horsepower? Yes, that's right. But I think personally that there has been a timing belt issue before, and in this case I did not retard the timing belt. No, I advanced it. If we talk about detonation, it's not nice to have it advanced. So I have to keep my ears open and hear if anything is going on since I have it advanced, because I have to put a new one, because the other one was very slippery and very loose. And my trust was in that timing belt a little bit gone. So, with that being said, so I need to do a lot of stuff, and also on the blow-off valve, I mean, I have to see the setting, and maybe I'm gonna buy a new blow-off valve that has 10 psi already from factory. It does cost a little bit, yes, it cost me $150 instead of $30. That's quite a big difference, but yeah, I mean, if that's necessary, then we have to do it, because, I mean, we don't want to blow our engine up, even if the cost from a blow-off valve is equal to the cost of a second-hand MTEC 2 version 3-cylinder 0.8 liters engine. But yeah, I mean, if we talk about tuning, guys, I mean, come on. Everything is going to be way more expensive. You are going always way over your budget. Now, once that's done, and we got all our parts in, I mean, we definitely can run everything. Now, I mean, with the supercharger pulley, obviously, I will install that one, and I will make I will also make a video from that, because I'm not going to do that on the car itself. I will take I will take the time that I need here at the table where I am at now, and I'm going to do that work over here. I'm also going to clean the supercharger, because I think I will fix those leaks, and that might work out pretty well. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's actually that. I mean, I have to take the supercharger out and wait for the parts to arrive. So the supercharger pulley, yeah, and the piping and maybe the gaskets. We will see. At least already the supercharger pulley. Yeah. Now, I mean, that's actually that. So the things that I still need is the supercharger pulley, maybe the aluminium billet pulley that I want to buy later on for 90 euros, so 141 Australian dollars. The gaskets that I want to buy, which are better than my own, I know that. The other thing is another blow-off valve from $150. I want to buy some headers that are ultra rare headers that you can't buy anywhere else in this world, only in one place, which I will reveal later on when it's going to be that time, but I don't think that's going to be for this year. We need also some piping, we need an intercooler. Yeah, this is going to be a job from maybe $500-600. But that means in the time that I can't drive my car, we can at least work on it and improve stuff. Because of course things have to go bad, like the exhaust is worth nothing anymore. We definitely work our way out. So it's gonna be fine though. Anyways guys, I hope you guys like the video a little bit, and I hope you enjoy the update that I got for you guys, because I don't expect that it's gonna take too long before the supercharger pulley is already arriving. It's gonna be the same that is on there now. Maybe it's just brand new and it's not second-hand or used already. So I know that there was already some problems with the pulley already, because the grooves, so the serpentine lines, as said, where the serpentine belt is going over, it was already a little bit curving like that. So that's not good. So maybe that already caused for vibrations. I don't know. But anyways, I mean, we have to wait for the supercharger pulley to arrive, and then I take the supercharger out together with some gaskets that I can make, that I have laying already here. I only have to take the flanges off, and we are ready to make them. So yeah, then I have to clean the supercharger, bolt everything on, bolt the supercharger pulley on, and very, very stiff in this case, and not loosen the bolt. Maybe I'm gonna use a thread locker as well, so I am very sure that it's not coming loose. Yeah, and that's actually that. Anyways guys, thanks for watching the video. Just smash the like button. Don't forget to push the red button. I mean, it's free. It's free. And you guys always support me with doing that. If you guys already watch the channel, you guys can also support me with your mobile phone. There's a QR code if you want to support me on TipeeStream. And also you can donate me on PayPal or TipeeStream on your desktop. So there are several ways you can choose. If you want to do that, would be very nice. I mean, everything is going to be spent in quality upgrades, audio upgrades for like you see me now and hear me now. That's going to be upgraded, and as performance parts in the car as well. Leave a message if you want to donate, if you have something specific in mind. So then we can definitely do that. Anyways, that's that. And oh yeah, by the way, if you don't want to donate, that's completely fine. I mean, just push the red button. I will be happy anyway. I mean, we still have a long road to go if you want to reach 1,000 subscribers, huh? Anyways guys, thanks for watching. I see you guys in the next video, which is probably gonna remanufacture a little bit from the Aisin AMR300 supercharger. And this was Tuning Dutchy, and I'm gonna sign off. And I catch up with you guys in the next video. Don't forget to watch that one as well. See you guys the next time.